We are live on YouTube. Bowen, do you want to lead the meeting? Do you want me to lead?
Yeah, well, I think either way is fine. I mean, I can just start with
Okay.
update from.
Let's start.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll start with an update from the chain team and the SRE team. The chain team on the for the last week, I think we're still working on this sharded network investigation. Definitely made some progress there. Can now sustain TPS up to 1,000 for 8 shards, which is still relatively low. We tried the 2,000 TPS, and that doesn't quite work yet. So still some validators get kicked out after running for a while. So we're still investigating what's going on. It seems that there's some strange network issue that caused this some messages to be delivered quite slowly. That caused some chunk producers to miss chunks. We are still investigating why that is the case. Yeah. So on the kind of memory and the performance investigation side, Piotr finished the PR to add performance metrics. Basically, this measures the CPU usage of each thread, and also added some logging if there's a significant delay in the processing of some messages for the actors. And also Piotr did it in a way that is very non-intrusive. It is hidden behind a feature flag, so you can turn it on and off. And also it is done through a procedural macro. So essentially there is not much visible change to the main body of the code. It just there is a macro you can mark the actor handle functions with, and it's absolutely great. And thanks a lot for Piotr. Thanks a lot, Piotr, for doing that work. And also I think Piotr also is finishing on the refactoring the change he did with the memory leak investigation, and he's adding the memory logging to near core, and refactoring a lot of the debugging code he had, which is also great. So Misha is working on fixing the cache contention that we found, which is a regression that caused a node to fall out of sinks on testnet. So that part is fixed, but we also realized that there is some issue with the cache itself, and inside view client, and this would cause, for example, the query to time out. And I think Misha is working on optimizing that as well. Basically, we don't need to use the cache when we're serving the state part request, which is quite expensive and don't actually utilize the cache that much. So also, I think I also made some progress in terms of the investigation related to memory spike that can sometimes just cause node to run out of memory within a relatively short amount of time. It is mostly related to state, so I think I'll today discuss with Misha on how we want to best address that. I hope, yeah, I think we can make a fix in the short term very soon, hopefully, and that should address the this issue with memory. And yeah, that's pretty much the update from chain team. And I think a lot of people are on vacation this week, so progress will be slower. So for the SRE team, Sandy was mostly working on improving on-call handbook, and also figuring out the issues with profiler automation. And he also helped set up a node for debugging RPC timeouts, which is great. And Mario was mostly working on the with the bridge team on adding the necessary monitoring and alerts systems they need. He also finished setting up the Ethereum nodes for the full Ethereum nodes for the bridge team to use. And I believe they have already switched to using that. And thanks Mario for doing that. And yeah, that is pretty much all the update I have. And yeah.
Cool, thanks, Bowen. Does anyone have any questions to Bowen? Okay, sounds like no. Let's go. Yeah,
not
go
a
ahead.
question, but like about the checking. Essentially, Bowen mentioned that this memory profiling code, it's under the feature flag, and we recently encountered performance regression in a contract runtime code, which is related to the fact that feature was unintentionally turned on, and as a result, it was very, very slow. So, so did you add the check that this feature is not enabled on like on a production nodes, for example, in NearD or something like that? If this is a performance sensitive feature.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Although it's, I mean, not clear what you mean by production nodes, right? Like you do actually want to run some nodes with those feature enabled. So it's like you cannot just do a static check by saying like, you know, you if you run NearD, you should not have this enabled.
Well, yeah, but for example, what we could have like enable like I don't know, enable unoptimized, something like that. And if this runtime flag is not present, then we can check.
I see. You want some like I think that's probably I think we can do something like that. But for now, I think that you know, like since so basically the way it is done is that the feature is only introduced on the very top level, so it's only in the NearD crate. It's not in any of the sub crates that's including NearD. So I don't think there's a possibility of leaking accidentally leaking features. And if you do not explicitly enable them, they're not really enabled. So I mean, sure, I think we could add some you know feature to like guard like a bunch of features, but for now I think we only have two. I guess yeah, we still can do that. Maybe we can discuss this offline.
Okay, thank you.
Let's discuss it offline. And Nikolai, since you're talking, maybe you can give an update on the contract runtime.
Oh yes, probably not too much of an update, but still. So we got mostly running this stable Rust stories. So just a few changes, not yet fully merged, but we're very close here. We also had OKR planning sessions, so we updated the OKRs in Airtable, and they kind of reflects of what was done and what we're planning to do. Also, we evaluated possibility of using Borg serialization in a compiled cache, and it turned out that we couldn't do that at the moment because we miss certain functionality. More exactly, generic bounds in Porsche, which wasn't there, and so we just need a pull request Porsche merged and new version of Porsche published for us to use it as a serialization mechanism for contracts. Also this long pending story with the profile data seems to be a little bit stuck. So let me remind, the story is that we want to put ability to set the profile data. By profile we mean how gas is being spent on WebAssembly code execution, on host function execution, and such. And so we try to make it usable in every view and apply calls. And it seems there is no like a clear agreement. So maybe Bowen in particular. So maybe you can speak up on what just in a pull request. What's your opinion? How would you like to us to do that? Because I think it's an important general purpose feature. And also Willem suggested to eventually provide a functionality to that even in RPC calls. So at least on a testnet, people can actually extract from the RPC how gas is being spent when executing the contracts. So what do you guys think? Does it make sense?
Yeah, it seems that you talked about several things, right? So I think, maybe I missed the first part you're talking about, but are you asking like how I think about how we should add the profiler to into near core? Okay. I think I commented on the PR, but maybe there's some more discussion there. I can take a look later.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm talking about 3730 in particular, but that's I guess.
But like, is there something specific that you want me to take a look, or is it like more general? Question?
It was just a discussion. Like you suggested to hide it behind the feature flag. And,
yeah.
Willem, ask your opinion, and I think that's kind of stuck, and just working here as a kind of try to push it forward, and actually I just like to get it agreed upon and merged. So that's I guess.
Okay.
Okay, so what else? Also on our OKR session, we have a new person who will join us after the Christmas break. Alex Kladov. So he was very interested and even gave us a few practical recommendation about using Rust toolchains and in our situation. So I hope it will be a good addition to the team.
Oh, looking forward. For everyone, the deadline for the OKRs would be the second week of January. Actually, I think January 15 to be more specific. So you can start working on drafts for the OKRs now, but you have more time, and it's probably better if you do it in the beginning of January once we have organization-wide OKRs. The Nikolai's team, they are in a more special position because their work is very, they have planned their work for many months ahead of time, so it's not going to be affected that much for the organization-wide OKRs. It might be adjusted a little bit. So yes, if you want to start doing OKRs now, you can. Just keep in mind that once organization-wide OKRs come out, you might need to do some minor adjustments to it. Right. How about Alex Shevchenko? Can you talk about the status of the EVM and
Sure.
maybe the bridge too?
Yeah, I can do both. Hello, everybody. So the bridge update. Let's start with the bridge. Probably the most major update on the following week was that the Rinky-by testnet, near testnet bridge is deployed by the hands of Marcella. Marcella, thanks very much for this. And the Robston bridge is also on the way. It is going to be there soon. In general, the team was preparing for the holiday season. We are continuing our work on the bridge 2.0. Evgeny Kapun is focusing on this. We are continuing work on the UI of the bridge. And here is Chad mainly is doing his work. And we figured out with Corbin that we already have all of the needed designs for this. So designs are completed. Now need to develop, finalize the UI. We're continuing our work on the monitoring, and there are still some things that needs to be done there. And with regards to the testing is also continued with the bridge. Good news that the previous problems inside of the bridge were caused by wrong scripts, or like problems in scripts, specifically problems with nonces of the Ethereum transactions, and it is not dependent on the smart contracts. So hopefully the smart contracts are okay. Also, Rapnir was reviewed by Marcella, and I encouraging everyone who is in the core contracts repo, the co-owner of the core contracts repo, to take a look at the pull request number 120 to be able to say whether it is okay or not. The more people will look at the pull request, the better it will be in the end. So that's it about the bridge. With regards to the EVM, so leitmotif of the week was phase 2 development and handover due to the changes in the team. So Bo is going to quit to working with within the EVM project, and his major part of his work was meta transactions. So we were doing lots of work on meta transactions with rethinking of their logic and the way how they are working in general. And this information was handed over from Bo to Arto, and probably it is going to be continued within this short week. And besides that, we are continuing the work on the Anemone test suite, so to test the EVM implementation. Mike developed an excellent example of how to use Pet Shop deployed in the beta net. So how to use it in 42 lines of code. It is available in the New Protocol /examples repo. And we also have rescheduled the call even twice right now. So the work group of the EVM, if some of you were visiting it or wanted to do this, it is now happening on Fridays, but in the different time. So it starts at 7 morning San Francisco, 4 p.m. Europe, 11 p.m. China, and it would last for 1 hour. So we are extending this call. We would like to bring more discussions there and make it like a call during which we are going to show to our community what was done within the week, and maybe do a little bit more deeper and more long discussions with regards to some major points that needs to be done within the next week. So that's it from my side. Any questions? Or what questions do you have?
Oh yeah, actually I have a question. I think I mentioned it in one of the threads on Slack maybe. So I saw there's a bunch of transaction failures on testnet, and I think Marcelo said this because we're concurrently submitting a lot of headers. That seems to me not the best strategy, in a way that we are like burning tokens unnecessarily on the transaction fees if we know that those transactions are going to fail.
Yeah, I'm looking into that right now actually. So I will fix it.
Okay,
So,
sounds good.
In general, our strategy is to submit transactions in a batch asynchronously when bridge is catching up with Ethereum, because that's how we actually are able to catch up really fast with Ethereum, is by submitting optimistically, like 10 transactions in a time and hope that they all end up in the same block and they get rearranged according to the nonce. And yeah, sometimes you have some of them failing. I think what you're referring to is something that causes more failures than that. But in general, it's okay for the bridge transactions to fail every now and then.
Yeah, I think I observed definitely more than I think at least for a while I was seeing like looking at all failures and there's no successes.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay, so let's put it in the list. Marcella, maybe you would be able to create an issue on the GitHub so we can track this.
Sure. I will.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Alex, Kendall, can you give us please an update on wallet?
Sure thing.
Your helicopter. Your helicopter, maybe also to everyone else. And let's give you time to fix it. And meanwhile, Vlad Frolov, can you please give update on node interfaces?
Yep, sure. On the node interfaces side of things, we were mostly focused last week on accurate computation of circulating supply. And we identified quite a few issues with our lookup account implementation in JavaScript. And we are still confirming that our result is expected because we have some discrepancies. And even when we extracted the get locked amount right from the contract itself, adjusting it to the fact that we are already in phase 2 stage, we still have the unexpected result from what we received from Eric. So me and Bogdan are looking into that, and currently we are blocked on Yasin, I guess, to provide us with the where exactly we lose the count. Also, I was working on the Explorer side, the indexer side, to collect various stats about our network for town halls and also for future charts we want to display on Explorer side. Those are ready but haven't been merged yet. I'm also finishing Borscht project reorg, which basically means that our near Borscht repo will only host the README file and the static website, and all the rest implementations will live in their respective repos. So currently, JS implementation lives in its own repo and maintained by Sergey, I guess, and Borscht RAS is maintained by me and Bo. We'll see how it goes further, who is going to code on the Rust part. Also, Bo helped us to implement JSON RPC endpoint to query contract code binary through RPC. But while this is in master, I cannot provide any ATA on when it will be available for testnet and mainnet. Maybe Bowen can update us on this, because I'm not following the when we how to trace down when and what includes in the releases. Yeah, on the Explorer side of things, we are exploring more data. Indexer version of Explorer is currently deployed under dedicated domains, and we identified a few minor bugs there. Once those are fixed, I guess we are ready to release it for testnet and mainnet under main domains, and we'll keep the old implementation for betanet and guildnet. and this unblocked us on many items. Like I closed at least a dozen bug reports on Explorer just with this indexer release. So that's a great improvement there. Thanks for this work to Bogdan and Ifan, working hard on backend and front end to be feature complete. And I guess that's all from my side at this point of time.
Cool, thanks a lot. What questions does anyone have? No questions. All right, great. Kendall, are you back?
I have a question.
Oh, Evgeny, yes.
Oh, yeah.
About the state of RPCnet of the receipt by ID.
I also started implementing it, so it will be ready in upcoming days.
Okay. So, Vlad, I also have a question. Not sure if it's to Vlad or to anyone else. Do we have any definitive plan on update of deployment of a new version of mainnet, so that we need to organize and with which moment we need to have ready new costs ready?
Yeah, I think we can. That can wait for the next, not the next one, but the one afterwards. So, or like, well, depending on when you guys feel comfortable. Of course, first need to be released on testnet, and I don't think that is merged. I think that is not merged because we're waiting for the change to statesync to actually recompile to compile the contracts and store them in cache before we can change the fees.
Okay.
All right, cool. Kendall, are you back?
Yeah, is that better?
Yes, much better.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, on the wallet side, while testing last Monday's release, we uncovered a few bugs that we fixed over the week. So that release will likely be going out today. If you're curious what's in that release, check it out here. It's mainly a new send UI, a few bug fixes, and then an adjustment, basically making some of the balances a bit more accurate. Be found there. So we'll have one more release before the holidays. We're targeting to have in that release the account creation flow improvements, just trying to make it much clearer to users what's happening with their accounts after they fund them, to potentially clear up some issues there. There'll also be improved staking rewards calculations, particularly when users have 2FA enabled, and then hopefully also disable 2FA, which is working, just doing some final testing on it. So if all goes well, we'll be cutting the release today and then likely releasing it sometime between now and Thursday. And if you want to see what's sort of left to do for the year, here you can check out this here. Everything that's in progress and beyond will be released. The 4 items that are still in the backlog will be the first items targeted early next year. What questions can I answer for anyone?
Kendall, I recently figured out, but maybe this was not a recent change. I'm just not a big user of the Explorer. So I recently figured out that the layout have changed, and the information about the staking it moved. It should probably move to the wallet itself. Are there any time frame when it is going to be displayed there? I mean, all of the big amount of different balances that we have, locked ones, staked ones, stuff like that.
Are you asking when it will be displayed in the Explorer or when it will be displayed in the
wallet? Because as far as I get it from Vlad, it is never going to be displayed in Explorer.
So there's staking rewards are already displayed, or rather, staking rewards are mostly displayed in the wallet. Everybody can see their balance accumulating, especially if they're viewing the staking page. But there were some issues with the staking rewards calculation for 2FA for various reasons, which the indexers helped us clear up. So that should be in, by the holidays. We are going to majorly refactor the way balances are displayed and make some calculation adjustments to make things much clearer. If you follow the improved balances issue and that one that I just found out, and I can also add something here, you can kind of see what the plan is. I think there are a few designs in there that are roughly the latest. So if you're interested in what it's going to look like.
Yeah, I was seeing this. Yeah, thanks a lot. Maybe this would be a little bit. So is this information would be available only after the login in the wallet?
No, the profile page is publicly available, so you can search any address and view it there. And that's already true.
Yeah, I'd like to also clarify the situation on Explorer side and the profile page as well. So on Explorer, we started initially with displaying only native balances, meaning the non-staking and staking balance that is native to Near protocol. We also have the notion of balances that are delegated or moved to lockup, which are different accounts in terms of Near protocol, but they are needs to be tied together for user representation. And originally we tried to solve this problem in Explorer because it was a landing page, but quickly we realized that this is not a path forward because there's balances could be various and there are tons of them. So discussing internally, we decided to scale back and provide the link in Explorer to the profile page, which you can find right now in the UI. So probably if you haven't noticed the link, it's a UX bug and we need to address it definitely and make it more explorable. And wallet is, from what I can see with this latest release, should address the issue with the rewards that you referred to. And once it lands, you will see the proper latest balance with all the rewards you have.
Yeah. Well, I've seen that link. I was trying to access it, but when I went there, it was showing only the current account balance without any information about the staking. So that was the problem. Yeah, so the link is big. I mean, anyone will be able to see it.
Cool.
All right. Evgeny, Kuzakov, Mike, and Chad, they all on a vacation today. So they won't be able to give summary of what the group was working on. I'm going to give like a very short information here, and then we can wrap up this meeting. So we are actually going to sunset the engineering sync starting the new year for several reasons. The primary reason is that we want our syncs that are public to the community to be engaging to the community. And since we want team syncs to be also engaging, we're probably going to focus our attention on these things and try to make them as engaging as possible. So there's going to be a lot of work for the TLs to figure out how to make them engaging, and we're going to work on it all together. And there is also duplication information happening during the main engineering sync on Monday with engineering syncs of individual teams. So we're going to be sunsetting this engineering sync starting the new year. That means the next week engineering sync is probably going to be the last one. What we're going to replace it with is we're going to replace it with better agendas for each individual team's syncs. So each team will start their syncs with what is the goal, what has been done last week, what are we going to do next week, and this information is going to be directly taken into the newsletter and all kind of marketing material that we're going to be distributing through the community. And that's going to be basically our replacement for the engineering sync, the newsletter. And that will also encourage the people who would normally ask the questions during this meeting, like we just did right now, to actually ask these questions directly to the team members of this other team and reach out to them through whatever tools they choose to use, whether it's GitHub projects, I don't know, GitHub discussions or Discord or whatever, and actually get involved in these communication channels instead of just centralizing all these questions in the Monday engineering things. So that's the plan, and hope TLs will start preparing by improving the agenda of the individual team engineering things. And yeah, that's it. So many of you might not be in the office next week. So for those of you who we're not gonna see next week, I wish you happy holidays and happy upcoming new year. And thanks everyone for joining us today. Goodbye.